to Lakers Live pregame show presented by the Ultimate Sports Show. I am with the gang, as always, the crew, the best crew right here. Manny, Medina. We got Lakers tonight. I mean, we back. We got some great news, obviously. We're playing the Dallas Mavericks tonight. I'm glad to see, obviously, this team got a few days off to kind of reset the body a little bit, which is great. These guys have been working their butts off and, doing what they can for the lately depleted Lakers team. But, looking forward to this game tonight. Let's start, obviously, with this game tonight, and then we'll get to the more exciting news after, obviously, Lakers playing the Mavericks tonight. When you mentioned the words Mavericks, Manny, you can't ever leave out Luka Doncic. Obviously, and Porzingis too, but Luka is not an easy man to guard. Obviously, he's so crafty in his game. How do we stop him tonight? What kind of energy you think he's going to bring, especially against the Lakers? He's looking forward to this game tonight.
Oh, absolutely. The fact that his childhood idol plays for the Lakers. I mean, he's not back yet, LeBron James, but that is his idol when he was growing up. But what is there to say about Luka, guys? Like, he is one of the best 21-year-olds I've ever seen in my life. The way he plays is so insane. He can score, he can rebound, he can assist. He pretty much does it all. This season, he's averaging 28.6 points, 8 rebounds, 8.7 assists, 7th in the league in PER. And in the last 10 games, he's been averaging 28. He is averaging 29 a game in the last 10 games that he has played. Versus the Lakers, the past games as he's played, his career against Lakers actually, has been averaging 27 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. So it's going to be tough to stop him. I agree. But we're going to have to tighten up the D. The good news is Erod has just said it. AD's on the way, so we're excited about that. He's going to be back, so he'll be able to guard him. He'll be able to guard Porzingis. So at least we're going to have some help in the front court position, because it's not like Drummond has to do it all in the paint and he has to do it all when someone's driving to the lane. He doesn't have to. If he doesn't get the block, AD can go there and block it. So we're all excited about that. Luka's going to be a tough matchup, obviously, but the fact that we have AD, it's going to give us a little bit of help. We're going to be able to guard the paint better, so I'm happy about that, and this game's going to be a great game. I can't wait.
Yeah, Manny said it best. I mean, I'm excited for this game. When we think about Dallas, we think about Luka. He's a great player, obviously, and we think about Porzingis. I mean, Dallas is just full of competition, and the fact that we have AD back tonight, we actually might have a chance of winning this game. We have him in the paint. We have Andre Drummond in the paint. So, I mean, I feel like it should be a pretty close game. I mean, I want my Lakers to win. I always have faith in them. But even if, something happens where, we fall a few points behind, I'd still be happy with the win. With that being said, I'm excited that AD's back. I mean, yes, represent. But keep in mind, guys, that even with AD's return, I know we're all excited. He might be a little slow coming off the bench today. He's only playing 15 minutes. So, let's not expect 20 points from him and 15 rebounds. Obviously, he's still out of it. He still has to get his rhythm back. Hopefully he can contribute in those 15 minutes in some way, and I'm sure he will. But if he's a little slow tonight, let's not bash on him. Let's not pick on him. I'm pretty sure it's a tough thing to do to come back after 2.5 months of being off. So, we got to keep that in mind. Got to be supportive of our guy. Aaron, what do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously AD on the way. I mean, you have to get that out there. Obviously, shout out to Erod, Vince, everybody that's in the comments. We are hyped. I'm hyped. But I mean, Manny, Medina, you guys pretty much touched on it. Medina mostly. We can't look at this game to say, hey, oh my God, expect AD to play a ton of minutes. Everybody knows. And if you don't know, you can't ever bring a player, especially when AD had his kind of injury, and we know that in his career, I mean, if you look at his career lately, obviously what he does on the court is great. It's just about him staying healthy. It's has been his problem that he's been dealing with. He's been dealing with it since he came into the league. And, the important thing for him and the important thing the Lakers want to go about it is the minutes. So don't be surprised, like literally, like just like you said, don't be surprised that he doesn't play a lot of minutes. He's only playing 15 minutes. So probably the first half and that's it. And you know what? No matter what he puts up there tonight, it's just going to be good. I think we can all agree. I don't even care if he puts up like 10 points, whatever. It's just good to see him out on the court. I can't be happy enough to see him be back out there. He's just going to help his game with Drummond. Like Erod was saying, and Vince has been saying as well, that 2-man game with him and Drummond will be devastating. And people just got to realize too, like in my own thoughts behind it is, it's just game one. It's going to take him, let's be honest here, it's going to take him probably like 4 games or so to really get kind of a little bit more rhythm back going, and you're going to see the minutes go up, but it's not going to be something drastic. Look, he had almost a serious ending injury that he avoided, thank God, that could have been. And the Lakers just have to be, Lakers want to play cautious. Look, they waited so long. Everybody was saying, why did the Lakers wait so long, with it? When's he coming back? Well, he's coming back at the right time. Right reason, right time. And he's healthy. That's the most important thing. He got the rest that he missed out on. Look, we know the shortened season took a toll on LeBron as well, who we're still waiting to come back. He should be right behind him. When we hear more news about what's going on with LeBron, we will definitely share it, and we will definitely know at the same time. So, all we got to do is just be patient, let him get his rhythm back, let him get himself going. Then you're going to start seeing AD shooting, getting his 25 points a game plus and just getting his rhythm back. It's just going to take a few games. And I think, honestly, I think we'll be all right. Obviously, tonight we got Porzingis as well to deal with. As much as Doncic is a problem, Porzingis is a bigger problem. I mean, we know what he could do. We know he shoots threes. He's incredible. When he's healthy as well, he's dealt with injuries too. When he's healthy and he's out there dominating with that 1-2, with him and Luka running that 1-2 punch, they're dangerous as big as Kobe and Shaq was. I mean, they have a very dominant game. They play well. Luka, obviously Luka could play off the ball with him. Porzingis could be running the offense. It's just, they have so many combinations they could do with just those two guys. But Drummond, Marc Gasol, everybody, even if Davis plays, I hope he doesn't play anything at the 5. I want him to stay only at the 4, which I think we can all agree on.
Yeah.
I just want to see these guys, do what they can and contain him and just make life difficult for him.
Yeah, absolutely. You touched it on pretty well, Aaron, right there, because I like how you said that, AD has been dealing with injuries, but it's not it's nothing bad about that, because there's a lot of players that have dealt with injuries, like you said, Porzingis as well. Porzingis, and actually to talk a bit about Porzingis, because you actually mentioned that he is a problem, and I agree with that. The past 3 seasons that he's played, he's only played 48 games, 57 games, and 37 games. That's not a lot. That's not a lot of basketball at all in those past seasons. So that's where the AD and Porzingis comparison really comes in with the amount of games. But obviously AD is the better player. But the thing is, Porzingis has played a lot of more games this year, so we're gonna have to watch out for that. So and Porzingis actually is averaging 20 points, 9 rebounds, shooting 47%, which is kind of similar to AD a little bit, because AD as well, he's averaging 22, 8, and 53. Better field goal percentage, but you can see the points and the rebounds are kind of similar. So that's going to be a very interesting game to see, because they're both 7-footers. I know AD's like 6'10", but he's close to 7 feet. That's going to be a big matchup, because both are very tall, very dominant. And that's what I wanted to see AD come back against Dallas, because I was saying last week on the show and on Twitter that I preferred him coming back against Dallas than against Utah, because I think it would have been a better matchup because of those two guys playing. And also, what you said before about Luka and Kristaps, the fact that they're are like the young Kobe and Shaq, because Luka is more of a 2, he's not really a 1. And I know I know Shaq is more of a 5 than Porzingis being a 4, but you can see kind of that comparison. Even though they haven't won, they're kind of like how they were when they were young. So it's going to be a very tough matchup, but I think we could come on top. Our defense is a lot better than the Mavericks, in my opinion. So it should not be a tough match. It should not be a very tough matchup, but I think we could definitely win this game, and it's going to be a very interesting game as well. And I think also the fact that I think Dennis Schroeder is going to do a great job as well guarding Luka. That's my opinion as well, because Dennis Schroeder has been very good the past few games. And if there's someone that can stop Luka, before to answer your question before, Aaron, when you said how do you stop Luka, I think there's one guy that can stop Luka, and that's going to be Dennis Schroeder, in my opinion. Medina, what do you think?
You know what, Manny? I think you're actually right. Dennis Schroeder has been playing really excellent defense and offense. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one stopping Luka tonight. And he's like one of our fastest guys too. And I feel like he could keep up with Luka. But I do want to point out this comment here. Shout out to Dell in our comments. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is something I say almost every game. Look at the record. We win one and then we lose one. I want to start avoiding this pattern now that AD is coming back. I mean, I'm not expecting that much yet. And like Aaron said, I would give him about like a good 3 or 4 games before we see him back to his full potential, playing his full potential again. But with AD coming back and LeBron hopefully coming back soon, I hope we steer away from this pattern of winning one game, losing the next game, playing great, and then playing terribly. Like, we got to get ourselves out of this. And hopefully with AD's return, like all of our big guys coming back, we're able to do this. And you know what? I feel like if we win against Dallas, I mean, it's going to be a tough win, but if we get it, I feel like this is going to boost their confidence. And I feel like we're going to just be on top of our game. We're going to slowly get back into it. And hopefully we just win one game after another. And this is something that we need. I mean, we don't need to win, but I mean, it would be good to win some games before the playoffs now, because I feel like the Lakers need that, especially with LeBron and AD coming back. They need to get used to being back on the court. The bench players need to get used to playing with them as well. And they also have to remember not to let LeBron and AD carry the team for them just because they're back now. Like, we all have to play as a team now. We can't just rely on those two to just pull through for us every single time. We know how to play without them, so let's bring that to the table when they come back. That's what I want to see, and I want to break out of this pattern of winning one, losing one, because that's not the Lakers that we know and we love. It doesn't. I know it doesn't matter during the season games, but in the playoffs, we cannot be doing that. We got to lose that pattern before the playoffs start. What do you think, Aaron?
Hit it right on the money. I mean, I can't agree more to that. I mean, that's the way you got to think about it. Is that's how that's how it really was. Look at the Lakers. Ever since they both the big 2 top dogs of our team went down, it was just a trending pattern where the Lakers just kind of fell into a hole, and they kind of had to if you think about it, like if you look at the first 2 games or so when they had both of those guys out, it was more of a what's going on with the team? Like, they just look lost because there was so much missing pieces. It was, you missed one of your main ball handlers, and then you missed one of your main inside guys, and having that 1-2 punch with him and with LeBron and Davis, that this team, the way they've been playing, like, don't get me wrong, I give the Lakers a lot of credit. We were talking about that in the last game as well. I give them a ton of credit for being where they are in the standings right now. And with all the injuries, Wesley Matthews, we had Marc Gasol, Montrezl Harrell's gotten banged up a little bit, Kuzma's gotten banged up a little bit, obviously AD and LeBron.
Drummond.
And Drummond too. I mean, with the toenail. And first game as a Laker, and he gets a little bit of an injury bug that obviously he's been playing through fine. But I give this team a lot of credit because we could have easily dropped down. We could have easily lost like 6 straight games, 7 straight games in a row. But this team kind of had to restructure themselves. You looked at our offense and how everything dropped. All of our numbers dropped. And the Lakers just kind of had to refine that energy. Like we were talking about when AD was out, they had to learn to play without him. They had to learn to just readjust their game. Who's going to be touching the ball? Where's the ball movement going to be? Now Schroeder had to be effective and be even more effective. So now when you plug in AD back in the game, they got to understand as well, AD's plugged back in there not to disturb what's going on. You could tell he likes the way the Lakers are playing. The Lakers are trying to play scrappy. They're trying to play with a the defensive minded team we know, and translates to the offensive minded. So, if defense to offense translates to each other, he's doing his job. Plus, they know that, okay, he's not playing a lot of minutes tonight, and it's not about him scoring. It's about him being in the lineup, helping the team, being on the court. That's the most important thing. I don't even care. I couldn't care if he puts up 0 points tonight and puts up maybe a few rebounds. It's him being on the court is going to help this team. He's going to help move the ball around. You see the ball going through him. And that's honestly what's going to make the difference. I just want him to get his conditioning right and just go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what you said about the fact that we learned as a team how to play without AD. And yes, I know it sucked not having AD and LeBron not there, but actually, you would think I would not be happy about that, but I was actually a little bit okay with the fact that AD and LeBron were out, because, and I'll tell you why I was okay with that, because the thing I always brought up in the past shows was the fact that we didn't know how to play without those guys. We kept on relying on those guys, and we used them as our crutch. Without them playing, our guys knew how to play better. And yes, I agree with you. I agree with you, Erod. Absolutely. Defensively, like Frank Vogel has done a lot of good. We're the second best defense in the NBA. But back to what I was saying about the fact that we knew how to play as a team. Montrezl Harrell looked like so much better without them. Dennis Schroeder looked better. Kuzma, even though his percentages on the field and on the 3-point line weren't the best, like he was actually not scared to take high volume shots. So I'm happy that's how it was going. But now the fact that we have AD back, we're gonna actually like play a little better now, obviously, because now we have one of our main two guys back. But the thing is, now they're more comfortable playing because let's just say because AD is playing 15 minutes. Let's just say he doesn't play more than that. He plays maybe 10 or 5 minutes. Let's just say that something out of left field comes out like that. Our guys are gonna know how to play. Schroeder is gonna do what he has to do. Harrell's gonna do what he has to do. Caruso's gonna do what he has to do. THT is gonna do what he has to do. THT's actually been a monster the past few games, so I'm not worried about THT. He had 24 points off the bench the last game, so I'm not worried about him. But now at AD, we're gonna look even better. And then watch when LeBron comes back in the next 2 weeks. That's when it's gonna be championship ball. It's gonna be a very, very big game for all of us come playoff time, and I can't wait.
Couldn't agree more with you there, Manny. And this is very true. Those injuries, as much as I wish it didn't happen, they were a blessing in disguise, because our two main guys, they got to sit out for a while. They got to get their rest in just in time before the playoffs. And you know what? I'm kind of glad. Again, I'm not glad they got injured, but I'm glad that they had this time to rest up, because, yeah. I think we can all agree that we would rather have these injuries happen earlier on in the season rather than the playoffs, because it could have been so much worse. We could have lost AD and then LeBron when we were in the playoffs, and we could have lost any chance of winning the championship this year. But, you guys have been hitting it on spot on and everything, but just to reiterate, like Aaron was saying, about AD, it's going to take him a while before he gets back in his rhythm. It's going to take at least a few games. I'll be happy if he does have a high scoring game in those 15 minutes. But even if he doesn't, I'm just glad to see him back out there tonight. And the same case is going to be for LeBron, too, when he comes back. I'm just going to be happy to see both of them back out on the court. I'm not going to have high expectations from them right now. I don't think any of us Laker fans should right now. But, as more games obviously go on, we're going to expect something from them, especially before the playoffs. But for right now, I'm just chilling. I'm grateful that we have one of our big guys back. And like I said, once LeBron comes back too, I think we need to take it easy on him too until he gets back into his rhythm after a few games. And then once the playoffs come, I really believe that, AD and LeBron, Drummond, we're going to be an unstoppable team. All those teams that stomped on us before with LeBron and AD out, we're going to stomp right back on them. So I'm excited to see that. And like we've been saying this whole time, our bench players have gotten so much better. We relied so much on AD and LeBron to carry the team, and we know how to play without them now. I mean, there are some games that we lose terribly, but there are other games where we win. I mean, the Nets game, like, come on, we were all surprised by that. And like,
Absolutely.
I'm happy with our Laker team. I'm proud of how far they've come, and I'm proud that I know we're not the number one seed right now, but you know what? In my eyes, we are, because we've been playing our toughest without our big guys, and I really feel like no other team would have been able to do that without their big stars.
Oh yeah. Man, we're hitting everything on the spot today. Also, it is nice when you look at stats for this game as well, and you only have to see LeBron as the last one on that injured list. Finally, we had a point where there were 6 guys on there. Jared Dudley also, there's speculation that he should be starting to return to basketball activities as well. He's a great guy. I mean, he's not worried about playing anything. He's just a great guy to have. Obviously, it's good to get him out on the court when the Lakers can give those guys and the senior vets on the team some playing time. But obviously, we want to see everybody healthy. And in the end of the day here, also when it comes to this game too, people have to understand. Look, Lakers got to come into this game as well tonight and say, okay, we have AD in this lineup. Obviously, AD, it's going to be the same lineup. It's going to be Schroeder, KCP, Kuzma, Davis, and Drummond tonight that is starting. And the Lakers have to look at this and say, we got to keep going. We can't, just because AD's in here, we got to keep playing great. We can't take our foot down. We got to keep rolling high. And that obviously is going to take us into our keys to the game. Manny, what do you got for me today? How does the Lakers get this done? What do we got to do? How do we stop? Obviously, what do we got to do to get this game and take care of Dallas, at least for game 1?
Well, the keys to the game, in my opinion, are very simple. Contain Luka Doncic and contain Kristaps Porzingis, because those two are very fierce. They're very good. They know how to score. They know how to rebound. They know how to assist. They know how to drive. They know how to dunk. They know how to block. They know how to do everything possible. And the fact that we have AD is a big thing. Like I said before in the show, the fact that we have AD back, he's gonna do a very good job guarding Kristaps Porzingis. Not only him, but even Andre Drummond. And we'll also see if Marc Gasol gets missed. Because if Marc Gasol gets missed in the second unit, that would also be a great thing. Because what if Vogel decides to go with the second unit, and then they still have their starting lineup, Dallas and Luka and Kristaps and Maxi Kleber and all those guys. That's another guy I want to talk about a bit about Maxi Kleber. Big man who can shoot. I mentioned him about on the last shows that he's a very, very good player. He knows how to drive, he knows how to shoot, he knows how to dunk. So you have to watch out for him as well. But obviously, Luka and Kristaps are the main guys. And like I said before, Dennis Schroeder being on Luka is going to be very, very big. I hope Frank Vogel does that. We don't know what he's going to do because he always likes to play around with the rotations and see what's good for now coming playoff time. But in my opinion, containing those two is going to be big, because if we don't contain those two, it's not going to go well this game. Medina, what do you got for us for keys to the game?
I couldn't agree more with you, Manny. I was going to say guard the paint and also attack the paint as well. I mean, if we have any chance of winning tonight, we got to stop those two guys for sure. Got to be on top of our defense. Dallas is not a team that we sleep on. We got to be consistent throughout this whole game. If we have the lead, we got to keep up that lead, and we cannot slack off in the fourth quarter and lose that lead just because we're up by a few points. No, we got to play great basketball throughout the whole game. Like I said, guard the paint and attack the paint. What about you, Aaron?
I got, you guys pretty much took part of my key. So, I mean, you know what? I'm just going to say keep playing with a purpose. Keep playing with a purpose. You got AD back. Don't let him just be inserted in there to say we don't have to play as hard because AD's in the game. Keep playing with your purpose that, win with or without AD right now, we got to go out there, we got to score, even if he's not playing a normal rotation minutes. We got to go out there, we got to keep that ball movement going. I just want to see them keep playing the way they've been playing. They're playing great. They've been playing decent basketball. They're just letting these leads slip away from them. Also, in the comments, shout out to everybody that's been in the comments. We love it. If you guys have your own keys to the game, please put it in here. Like, we'd love to hear what your guys' own keys to the game would be, and put them in. Like, I mean, we'll take everybody. But it's in the end of the day for this game, Lakers are playing. They have these weird series where we end up playing 2 games in the same area. Obviously, it's been a whole trend with this year. But when it comes to Dallas this year in general, they obviously they have a good coach. Obviously he's been there forever. He's a defensive minded guy too as well. So you're gonna see a lot. You're gonna probably, I wouldn't be surprised tonight if you see them trying to double team Davis immediately when he touches the ball. I mean, even if you're just coming out there your first 2 minutes of the game and they're trying to double team you, I just want to see the Lakers tonight be aggressive in the paint. I mean, I think we can all agree. Even if it's not Davis, I just want to see Drummond. I want to see Drummond going off. I want to see these guys just be aggressive. Like, if we get Porzingis into foul trouble and kind of make Luka's day a nightmare and this whole game a nightmare, I think it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that. We already know that they're gonna have a lot of D on Anthony Davis. I agree with that 100%. And we know guys like Kristaps Porzingis are going to do that. Guys like Maxi Kleber are going to do that. Absolutely. And we got to keep to the game right here by George Avalos. Sorry if I butchered your name, but I think that's what it is. Defense wins championships. Keep the ball, low turnovers. Don't be afraid to shoot it and get hot. Absolutely. You hit a spot on right there like we all did. I feel like everybody's taking W's this pregame with the keys to the game and everything that we've been saying. And I agree 100% with everybody what we're saying, including myself. I'm very happy to know that AD is back. We're all giving good keys. We've been spot on very well. I'm very, very happy to know that.
Yeah, same. I don't know what else to add on to that.
Same.
Sure. Hey, let's get into the players to watch.
Let's
So
go.
obviously, I think I know who Medina. We already figured out who Medina is going with tonight. That's pretty obvious. But
yeah.
Manny, it's normally been Trez. What are you pulling out today? What card are you pulling out today?
Well, like I said, many shows, I haven't been very happy the way Trez has been playing, so I haven't been going with him lately. I'm going to go tonight with THT. I loved what I saw from the past few games. Last game, he had 24 points in 28 minutes. And not only that, he also shot 3 for 5 from 3 last game, so I'm gonna go with him. He's been very consistent, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from him on the bench. If he could give us these 20-point performances in 20-something minutes, hey, we'll all take it. Absolutely. And tonight I have him getting. I don't know if he's gonna get 24 tonight because it's gonna be a tougher matchup with Dallas and all their big men and all their shooting and stuff. So I think I'm gonna go with at least 16 and 5 for THT, and I think I'm gonna have him shooting 3 for 4 from 3. That's my prediction. Medina, I think we all know what you're going to go with.
Obviously, my man AD being back tonight, I don't have high expectations. I'm going to go back to this comment over here. As much as I would love to see this, George, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, maybe in his 4th game, I would say that. But, I mean, I would love to see that tonight. If he could pull that off in 15 minutes, I'd be hella impressed. But other than that, I think I would just be happy with 10 points, 2-3 rebounds, and might I dare even say 1 block from him. That's what I predict. If not, no hard feelings, AD. We still love you. I still love you, Aaron.
I think you guys know who I'm gonna pick, and no, it's not Marc Gasol. So that's a different change.
Again, 2 nights in a row.
2 nights in a row. I know, right?
Wow.
I gotta go with my boy Drummond because you didn't play great in the game 2. The second game against Utah. AD's out there, man. You gotta muscle up. If you wanna embrace being a Laker, you gotta go out there and get double-digit points every game. I don't care what you gotta do. I want to see him. I say this. I say 25 points and 15 rebounds. 25 and 10, or 25 and 15 is gonna get it done. And you know what? 3 blocks. So Get out there on the aggressive defensive end. Crash the boards, man. Like we've been talking about this. Lakers really got to go after the boards, get these guys in trouble, be aggressive in the paint. I think that's how we get it done. What a great show, guys. Catching tonight isn't just about the Lakers for the postgame show tonight. Make sure you tune in around the NBA. This is a national TV game on TNT. Make sure you tune in tonight. We're going to be covering the entire league with our show around the NBA. That will be after concluding the Lakers game tonight. For Manny, Medina, and myself, I'm Aaron signing off. Enjoy the game, everybody, and we'll talk to you later.
Let's go Lakers.
Go Lakers.
Peace.